Alright lads, so version 15.0 is officially here, and with that we have the new Limit Breaker quest. We streamed it early this morning, had a lot of fun playing this mode, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what Caleb do next with this particular quest, especially as it does appear to reset monthly. This video for the most part will serve as my first impressions of the game mode, and also talk about the quick breakdown of the mode itself, so you know exactly what you're going into if you have yet to tackle this particular mode. So what exactly is a Limit Breaker quest? Well, as stated here, it's a high difficulty, one-player quest that challenges you to conquer as many as you can in an endless series of stages. It costs no soul tickets to attempt this particular quest, and you can play it as many times as you like. Put your strongest favorite characters in a team and see how far they can make it through the Limit Breaker quest within the 5-minute time limit. The rewards for the quest consist of spirit orbs and also transcendence points, and you'll be obtaining them from the limited time orders, which require you to clear an X amount of stages. I believe the highest one is stage 15, which can easily be done in just one attempt. Overall, if you are able to clear 15 stages, you're going to get 240,000 transcendence points and also 25 spirit orbs. Now keep in mind though, the rewards itself aren't actually limited time, it's not a one-time rewards. And every time we get a new set of Limit Breaker quests, the rewards will then, of course, reset. Currently, right now, this quest is available for the next 10 or so days. So at the end of the month, we're going to get new rules, new enemies to go against, and of course, also more sets of rewards. Now, once you are running through this quest and the 5 minutes is up, you will notice the end screen. And the end screen details all the time you spend in each individual stage, lets you know which room you improved in, which room you did bad in, for example, and you also get a badge. The badge indicates how well the run actually was, and there are 3 types of badges: bronze, silver, and also gold. For clearing 5 stages, you'll get a bronze badge. For clearing 10 stages, you'll get a silver badge. And for clearing 15 stages, you'll get a gold badge. The badges themselves will be displayed on your My Status screen, as there is a dedicated section to the Limit Breaker quest showing the characters you used and also how far you actually have gone. There is also a results screen, and we can see that you actually have a history of how many Limit Breaker quests you've done and how far you've gone on each individual quest. As for the quest itself, it's the first time ever where you are required to actually bring 3 characters. In this case, you have character 1, 2, and 3, and each individual character will be used in a separate stage. For example, the character used in slot 1 will be used in stage 1, 4, 7, 10, etc. The character used in slot 2 will be used in stage 2, 5, 8, and 11. And then the character used in slot 3 will be used in stage 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. And it's of course important to read the rules, because each individual slot has its own set of rules, and if you match these rules, that's how you're going to get your most damage output and have an easy time going through the particular quest. So as of right now, for this particular month, at least for the next 10 or so days until the quest resets itself, slot 1 wants you to bring a ranged holo killer, slot 2 wants you to bring a ranged super killer, and slot 3 wants you to bring a melee Quincy killer. Those right there are the biggest damage increases, and what this does means that you don't really need to worry about having attribute advantage. Sure, it does help him, but the damage increase from having attribute advantage isn't worth it to lose the range damage buff and also the killer effect. For example, in slot 1, you very well could bring Spirit Arthur with Yurutsu, a melee tech character with the holo killer effect. So in this case, she will be getting the killer effect times 5, but she's lacking on the range damage times 2. At the same time, someone like the renewed version of Aaroniero, for example, is a speed character, so he doesn't have attribute advantage, but he's getting that 2 times range damage effect, he's getting that 5 times killer effect, and overall he's a better character to actually use in this particular quest. So keep that in mind when building your characters. You don't always have to meet the attribute requirements. The main thing you want to focus on is rule 1 and also 2, which is the killer effect and also range damage effects. And I guess it's also worth mentioning too, to even bring a character into this quest, they have to have level 30 link slots, so 10, 10, 10. Now what's kind of cool in this particular quest is that in certain stages there is actually an item that lowers the cooldown for your strong attacks, which is really cool. This mode you are against the 5-minute timer, so having your strong attacks recharge even for a one-time purpose is actually really cool, and it helps you get through some of those difficult stages. Because it is one time, the idea is that you want to use all your strong attacks and then grab the box so you get the most amount of recharge. But that's all you really need to know when it comes to the Limit Breaker quest. So let's actually talk about the mode itself and how do I personally feel about it and what Caleb can potentially do to better this particular mode. So for starters, I really like the idea of this particular quest. It's an endless mode. This is something that we've been asking for a very long time, and the quest itself actually is challenging. What I like about it is that you're actually forced to bring a team of 3. Usually in every piece of content, you're only really ever using one character. While it's true, every other single player quest lets you bring 3 characters, you're very rarely ever switching between the 3 characters. In this case, since you're forced to switch between each individual character in each individual room, it encourages you to work on 3 characters, summon for more characters in a way, and at the same time just play with 3 different characters. It's a nice change of pace that we haven't really experienced in this game over the last 8 or so years. Additionally, what I really do like and appreciate is the loading screens between each individual stage. One big fear I had is that because this is an endless stage and we can clear very fast, we'd spend more time loading into the next map, especially if it's forcing us to use a different character. However, going from stage to stage is seamless and it's actually very quick, which I definitely appreciate. And it needed to be like that because we're going through a 5-minute timer, and because you will potentially be replaying this quest multiple times to try and get a higher clear time, if we had to wait multiple seconds each individual stage, it would get quite boring. In this case though, once you move into another room, you're instantly into the next room, ready to tackle the next set of enemies. Speaking of the enemies, they are absolutely deadly. The quest itself really does feel like a high difficult quest because the further you increase your stages, the tougher the enemies get. And there are also technically boss stages where there are some really tanky enemies that can trap you in a corner and take you out in seconds. Right now, we are fortunate enough to only go against easy enemies, but there are also times where we will be going against human enemies, and that will be absolutely brutal. Some of these boss stages, the more difficult stages, do actually feature enemies with poise, so it's funny and nice to see the poise mechanic on enemies be seen outside of just the Ultra Point event quest. It's a simple addition to an enemy, but it really makes you play differently. You can't just stand there and spam your strong attack. You have to get that distance. You have to stay far away. Otherwise, you're going to get caught in their attacks. So there was definitely a lot of fun to be had and a nice change of pace compared to the other parts of the game, especially because it's a single player quest. Most additions to this game that we have been getting over the last couple or so years have all been cart-based or arena, for example, PvP. It's finally nice to get a single player quest that I don't have to rely on teammates. I can just bring my favorite characters and have a bit of fun for 5 minutes. And in a way, this mode has got me excited for future characters, because I want to see how far I can take this mode. How far can I go next time this quest comes back? I believe people are already starting to hit stage 30, and that's absolutely insane. I want to do that. Unfortunately, though, I don't own Quincy Ichigo, so I can't do that, but it's making me want to summon for him. So I guess in Caleb's situation, they're kind of winning with that. I definitely have a lot of positive to say about this mode, but there is definitely one negative, but it really depends on how you look at it. As of right now, I think the biggest disappointment to a certain extent is the rewards. You get 240,000 Transcendence points and also 25 Spirit Orbs, which in and of itself isn't actually bad, but that can be easily obtained in just one run. Now again, depending on the type of player you are, that's good or bad. For those that want that extra challenge and get a reason to go to maybe stage 30, you don't really get that. But for the casual players that want to be just go into a quest, get the rewards and be out, well, there you go. Go into the stage, get to stage 15, and boom, you got all the rewards. I think there's definitely a bit of tweaking Caleb can do here to make the rewards a bit more enticing and maybe encourage you to go further in this particular quest. But maybe Caleb don't want to do that. We've seen that plenty of times in the past where Caleb don't want to make this a super sweaty competitive game. They want it to be casual and they want the rewards for the most part to be obtainable by every single player. Very rarely will someone be left out on a reward because you don't have X amount of characters or because you didn't summon for dupes of said characters. So I think there's definitely a sweet spot that Caleb can find. And lucky for us, Caleb are open for feedback. As stated in the news post itself, we'll be asking for players who played the Limit Breaker quest to fill in a questionnaire, and where possible, we will be adjusting the quest to meet player expectations. They've never done this in the past. We've had questionnaires, and that happens every single year for the anniversary, but we never had a questionnaire dedicated to a single particular game mode. So whenever that questionnaire does come out, we will definitely be making a video on it, and I encourage you lads to fill it out too when it does release, so Caleb can best optimize this mode to again meet our expectations. I think the gameplay itself is fun, it feels different, fresh in a way, and right now the only thing that really needs tweaking is the rewards. To me, I don't really play this game for the rewards, I just play to have fun, so the rewards didn't really matter much to me, but there's definitely room for improvement, and again, Caleb are open for that. For those that only care about the rewards, you can go in, get to stage 15, and be done for the rest of the month. Which I guess is the bad thing, but at the same time, you could see it as a good thing. When it comes to IZ, Epic Raids, IT, and even Arena, to get the max amount of rewards at the release of those particular modes, it required a ridiculous amount of grinding that it wasn't even that fun. In this case, this is a quest that doesn't require grinding. You just go in, have a bit of fun for 5 minutes, and be done. For those that want to challenge themselves though, and go further and further in the particular stage, well, you also can do that, and that's what I've basically been doing for the entire day. I think the replayability in this mode really comes down to the type of player you are. For those that like just having fun with their favorite characters in a mode like this, there's definitely a lot to be had here with this mode. But for those that only just want rewards, it's basically a one-time thing and something to forget about until it resets next month. So there's definitely a lot of tweaking they can do here, but lucky for us, Caleb are open for that. And in the comments below, let me know how you like to feel about this particular game modes. I'm curious to know, but with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.